Alright, we meet again, Anstruther, this lake, right here. I'm back again. It's 6:30 in the morning and it's already windy. And it's snowing and raining a little bit on me. I'm going to solo right into the wind all the way across this lake. I am not looking forward to this one. I just have this feeling this time. So, whew, here we go. We will get to it. I am heading that way and then some. Wish me luck. My plan was to do a 2-night trip, the Serpentine Loop in Kawartha Highlands. I knew the weather was going to be sketchy the whole time, and I knew I would have to adjust my plans as I went. I was a little nervous for this one starting out, and sure enough, it was a challenge all the way through. Whew, just taking a second behind this island. The last time I was in this park at 7 o'clock in the morning, the water was like glass. It was beautiful. And today, it's a northwestern wind. It's coming straight at me. I have to turn this corner and go straight into the wind again to get to the other side of this big lake. And it's still snowing / raining off and on, so it's just around freezing right now. Whew, taking a break. I'm going to retrim my canoe a little bit, switch my gloves, and keep going. It's cold. It's windy. I'm trekking about 20 kilometers in total in this loop. I have maybe 5 or 6 kilometers of paddling today with 3 portages, so it's gonna go slow and steady. Wins the race. Okay, first lake, done. I do not like that lake. It seems like every single time I'm paddling that lake, the wind is against me. It doesn't matter which direction I'm going. So portage number 1 is about 200 meters, I think. I'm going to do double portage. So I'm going to take my pack, my paddle, and then I'm going to come back for my other pack, my lighter pack in my canoe. So I'm just going to do that quick to this lake. Switch to my orange toque, because it's still hunting season here. So, better safe than sorry. I'm bringing 2 toques, not a bad thing, in case one gets wet, or lost, or sweaty, or whatever. Alright, here we go. Here's my trail. Okay, quick portage from Rathbun to North Rathbun, and just a short one. So I did my pack first, my second pack in my canoe. Right now, should be short. Cold weather tip number one, get lots of wood. Get at least as much wood as you think you need and then double it. It's dark really early. You need firewood for a long time, so get more wood than you think you need. Let's do a campsite tour. I am on North Rathburn Lake right now. There's my canoe. I came in from right over there. And this is where I was sitting reading right here a second ago. And there's my portage, which I can actually get to from my site. This is my site. So I have a picnic table right here in the middle. There's the fire pit right past it. Got a fire going now because it's cold. And firewood just on the other side. There's a tent pad over there. There's the thunderbox over there, and that's actually a trail that leads to the portage as well, so I don't have to go back in the water. There's a tent pad back there, and another one over there. My stuff is hanging in the trees right now. Whoops. So there's a tent pad right here, and I chose to hang up my hammock right here. So that's my hammock I'll be sleeping in tonight. And then on this side, there's a wetland. It's really low, but you can tell there's quite a bit of water in there still. Probably the bugs are bad in here in June and July, but it's November, so they're not bad at all. Some beaver lodges over there as well. And that's my site. Cold weather tip number two. If you're bald like me, you get cold quick. It is about 2 degrees Celsius out here and it's windy and it's cold. Get yourself a buff. This one's merino wool. It's a lightweight. And then you put your buff on like this. You've been doing it wrong. Do it this way. Throw it on. So you have the opening at the top, if you can still hear me. Then you can pull it down right to your mouth and then back up over your head. And then you can just throw your toque right on top of it, and your hood right on top of it, and you're nice and warm. Merino wool buff. Tip number two. Well, it wasn't the easiest day. It was really windy this morning and cold. The portages were not too bad. The wind was right in my face the whole time. My e-reader died. I'm charging it right now. I don't know how that happened. I forgot my lip balm. That's the only thing I forgot. If you're gonna forget something, don't forget your water, don't forget your fire, don't forget your warm clothes, and don't forget your emergency communicator. But lip balm is close to the top of the list. We'll see how my lips do by the end of this trip. It's gonna be cold. But then, even though it's a hard day, there's the sunset, and it's just gorgeous. You just can't beat it. You might think that the day is done, but it's only 5 o'clock. The sun is set, my campfire is roaring, I have my book, I have good food, it's quiet, except for the coyotes in the distance and the occasional owl. This is camping in November. Cool tip number 4. When you have something that's going to freeze like your water, make sure you don't leave a cap on. I didn't, which is good. It expanded. And then I'm just going to put it in my pot with some water and start to maybe thaw some of that out. Okay, it is about 6:30 in the morning. It is starting to get light out now. I packed up most of my gear, made some oatmeal, made some hot chocolate. I'm going to finished packing up. I'm going to take one load down the 1.5 kilometer portage, come back and get my canoe and the second load. It's cold this morning, -4 and windy. The wind is howling. I can hear it in the trees. Can't really feel it right now, but it's cold. Trust me, it's cold. I am heading back to get my canoe now. That feels like a long 1.5 kilometers. I won't lie to you. I've done 1.5, 2.5, 5 kilometer portages before. That one felt long. The train's not too bad. There's some steep sections. So I'm gonna go back, grab my canoe and my other pack, and head out again. Tip for when you're doing this, always start out a little cold. Start your hike out a little cold, because you're going to be sweating by the end, and you do not want to sweat in this weather. Still -4 out here. It's going to get colder tonight. You just don't want to be sweat. You don't want any of your base layers to get wet. Like, it's nice out here. It's peaceful. It's just a little chilly. It's just a little cold. Quick break. I'm about maybe a third of the way down this 1.5 kilometer portage, and it is starting to snow heavy now. I'm trying to push as far as I can today before snow starts accumulating. I have my lips on day 2. They feel dry. It is snowing right now on me, and I'm just trying to keep my temperature regulated so I don't sweat. So I'm just taking a quick break. I'm gonna try to push a little further today. Maybe skip the site I was supposed to stay at and go a little further before too much snow hits the ground. But the big flakes are starting right now. So, fall camping. Here we go. This is Serpentine Lake, and of course I have to go that way, right against the wind. Never fails. What is going on? Yeah, in the 1 hour it took me to go back and get my canoe. It is snowing hard and it is starting to accumulate, so I'm gonna go straight into the wind, into the snowstorm. Well, here's your problem. We have a frozen creek. I don't think it's too frozen. I'm gonna try to get through it. We will see how it goes here in a minute. When you're in the backcountry, especially in winter, when you encounter a problem, you really have to slow down and think things through. I knew I had options here. Obviously, one option would be to plow right through the ice with my canoe, and that's what I decided to do. But I had other options too. I checked my map, I checked my phone, I checked my compass. I knew I could portage my way around this creek, through the woods, to get to the next lake. It would be a long portage and it would be tough, but it was definitely something I could have done. I also realize I'm really lucky I didn't stick with my original plan and stay on Serpentine Lake, because one more night of cold weather and this creek would have been impassable by canoe. Well, I'm at Copper Lake. I just came from Serpentine through the ice right there. You can see it. I'll show you better in a minute here. Originally, I was going to stay on Serpentine last night, but it's supposed to be -7 tonight, and it's a good thing I didn't because there's no way I was going to get to that ice tomorrow. And I was going to stay on Copper tonight instead, but because of the weather, I think I'm going to push through. There's another creek in between Copper and Rathbun, so I think I'm going to push through and try to get to Rathbun. That way I know I only have lakes left and no creeks. Whew, that was a slog. Here we go, just made it. Okay, here I am at my last creek in between Copper Lake and Rathburn Lake, and I was a little worried it would be iced over too, but it's not. It looks clear, just a little bit of ice right at the beginning here. Not a problem, the rest looks pretty good. I'm gonna plow through this one. That's why I have to have a plan B all the time. I was gonna stay on Serpentine. I didn't think that was gonna be a good idea. I was gonna stay on Copper, and after going through that creek between Serpentine and Copper, no way I was gonna chance that this was gonna be frozen tomorrow because it's supposed to be even colder tonight, -7. So I'm gonna get through this one. I'm gonna go stay on Rathbun Lake, and then I only have big lakes left, so no chance of freezing over. And it's still snowing on me. It's right about 0, -1 degrees Celsius. But it is just snowing on me, just a little bit on my bald head. So last portage, last of 5 today, and don't forget I'm double carrying, so every time I have to take my packs and then I come back and get the canoe, otherwise too much weight, and it's too slippery to be carrying that much weight. Look, the path is slippery, and when you're carrying that much weight on these slopes with these rocks and the snow, one wrong slip and you're in trouble. Actually, I almost slipped a whole bunch of times. So this is my last one. I am hungry and tired and a little cold, and everything is getting ice on it. Look, even my mitts are full of ice. My canoe is soaked full of ice. Soaked is not the right word. My canoe is full of ice. It must be 15 pounds of ice on the sides and the inside of my canoe, so that's making it a little heavier also. But my reward, hot dogs, fresh bread today, nap, read. Whew. I'll take it easy after I'm done. All right, here we go. Okay, here is what my site looks like right now. The canoe is up. The tarp is about up. My bags are here. There's a picnic table under there somewhere, and I got a fire going. I feel much better that I have a fire going now, and I'm just gonna get my tarp and my other stuff set up. It is snowy though, and windy still. So that's what happens when you switch gears because of the weather. This wasn't my site I wanted to stay on, but Mother Nature said this is the site you're staying on, so she won. I lost, but I'm doing well. Everything is snow covered and icy, but we're making the most of it. My lips. They're dry. Look at the mess. I just set up my hammock and I am organizing my mess under the tarp. It is still snowing super hard outside. Boom! And the snow is coming inside, as you can see. So I'm going to organize, make my bread. How am I going to make my bread? I'm going to use the warmth of my body to make it rise. That sounds weird, and it probably is. Okay. Okay, I got fresh bread. I'm going to make it with a little bit of warm water that has been sitting over the fire. I'm not going to put too much in, and then I'm going to let it sit for a little while, wrapped around a hot dog, cook that in the fire, see how it goes this time. Cold weather tip number 5 or 6, who knows what number I'm at. Keep some warm water always on the go. So I have 2 containers right here, 2 pots sitting over top of the fire, and that way if anything freezes, you can use the water to thaw it out, like your water filter or your water bottle. Just keep a little bit of warm water close by. Fresh baked bun around a hot dog, a little bit of honey, barbecue sauce. So good. Let me give you a campsite tour. Not that you can see much right now. It is, I don't even know what time it is, 5 o'clock? I think it's 5. So this is Rathburn Lake right here. I've actually been up on that ridge. There's a beaver pond up there. It's nice, but I'm not going today. It's too slippery. That's my canoe. Can you see it? You can't see it. It's been there for a couple of hours, and now my canoe is snowed in, and I did not bring my canoe snow brush, so we'll see how that goes. It's getting dark. It's still snowy, but we still have a little bit of light, so let's tour quick. So up this way to the main site, and then we're gonna go over here. There's some white and a little bit more white and a little bit more white. Like, it's beautiful, but it's just covering. I got a wood pile. I'm gonna go get some more wood soon. And then my fire's going. I got some wood drying on top and snow melting on top. There's my picnic table. You can tell I've stolen some snow to melt from it, but it just keeps getting covered. And a little bit of food. And then over here is where my shelter is. There's the tent right now, or the hammock, sorry. The hammock is full of snow. And we'll give it a little shake. There we go. And inside, that's where I'm sleeping tonight. And all my stuff is in there to keep dry-ish. The snow gets in there a little bit, but better than nothing. And that's my site. It's pretty. Here's the scoop. So it has not stopped snowing. I just can't get a second for the snow to stop. It's all over me. And everything is covered with snow. I'll show you in a second. But it's cold. It's -5 Celsius right now, dropping to about -7 tonight. This lake's not going to freeze. That's a big lake. But my water froze, and my water purifier froze. My water filtration system froze. So I could unthaw it. Nobody knows. But I think I'm just going to melt snow because there's so much of it. So that's what I'm doing on the fire right now, since I want to have the fire going nonstop anyways. Good morning. Oh, that's a voice. Good morning. I survived the night. It is about -8 outside, and I'm cozy in my hammock. I'm going to show you around really quickly. This is what my hammock looks like from the inside when I'm here. It's actually pretty organized. I have a bunch of organizers. You can see I have an organizer on my ridgeline right there. That's a must. I have a hand warmer. My glasses are in there. Sometimes my phone, my earbuds, little odds and ends go in that little organizer. Then I have my phone hangs on one of my tripods. And then over here I have another hanging bag with my knife and my e-reader and some odds and ends, a power bank. That's where all my stuff lives. And then you can see I have my layers. I have 2 sleeping bags, well, 1 sleeping bag and 1 overquilt, and a liner right now, keeping me nice and warm. And that's what it's like on the inside. And it is a little foggy in here. Ooh, and a little bright. Too bright, too bright. Switches around. And of course my headlamp is hanging from there too, so I can have a little bit of light. That's what it's like. It's 6 o'clock right now. I just woke up and I am going to get packed up and get out of here. I can hear the wind. It's howling out there. So hopefully it is in my favor today. Fingers crossed. And lip check. Yeah, they feel dry. Oops. It's okay. Cold weather tip. This might be my best tip ever. Fill your Nalgene about a quarter of the way with just normal water, and then the rest with boiling water or hot water. Seal it really tight, make sure it's closed, and shove it in your sleeping bag right to the bottom. It'll keep your legs and your feet, your whole body will warm up, and in the morning you'll have fresh water that's not frozen to get you started. Warm weather tip. It's like a sailboat. Whew, there. That's better. Now we just have to deal with the incredibly steep and icy terrain with a 60-pound canoe. Well, 50-pound plus at least 10 pounds of ice. So, probably 60 pounds. But, here we go. Last portage. We got this. Whew. Cold weather tip. Mittens, people. Not gloves. Mittens. If you know, you know. Okay, that's one more in the books. Canoe is loaded up. I'm on my way home in the snow, and sure enough, true to form, just my last 100 meters or so, the wind kicked up like crazy, the snow started falling like crazy. just wanted to remind me that I am not boss out here. This one taught me a lot about myself and my skills. I was ready, I was confident, but this was my most challenging trip by far. Weather, the distance, the conditions out there. My lips. Uh-oh. But I stayed calm, thought through my problems, and made it through it, and I'm really proud of myself. This was a good one to get through. So, on my way home. Bye. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with as many people as you can. See you next chapter, and don't forget that reading and eating are always better by the fire.